Reformation Church Pastor Michael Todd gives reparations to Tulsa Massacre survivors. Pastor Michael Todd in Bixby, Oklahoma, called on churches across America to take the lead on the issue of reparations as he presented $200,000 checks to each of the only living survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre during a moving sermon on Sunday. The Tulsa Race Massacre occurred over 18 hours from the 31st of May to the 1st of June, 1921. A white mob attacked residents, homes and businesses in the predominantly black Greenwood neighborhood of Tulsa, leaving hundreds dead and thousands homeless. It is one of the worst incidents of racial violence in U.S. history.
I told the team, I said, find me every living survivor that survived this massacre. And they began to search. And I said, the most devastating thing that was stolen from people were their homes. And I said, how in the world do you rebuild when you go to sleep on a Thursday and on the Friday, all your memories, all your life savings, everything that you built your life for is in rubble in front of you. And you got to go to the fairgrounds and stay on cots and try to rebuild your life from ashes. I read in the Bible where it said, God is the only one that gives beauty from ashes. And today, I don't care who you are and where you're at, if you're watching online, y'all, we have 2 of the 3 living survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre. We have all 3. They all came. We have all 3. These people survived devastation and are here to tell about it. Mr. Hughes Van Ellis, 100 years old. No. I'm going to try that again. That man is 100 years old. Mr. Hughes Van Ellis, 100 years old. Miss Viola Floyd Fletcher, 107 years old. Miss Leslie Randall, 106 years old. Thank you for living a life that survived the devastation. Thank you for appearing before Congress. Thank you for standing up. Thank you for being here today. Because of you, this is able to happen. I'm a young black man who took over a church from a white man who built it in North Tulsa. That couldn't have happened if y'all didn't survive. And today, we can't restore everything that has been stolen from you. But today we can put a seed in the ground, and the one thing we know about a seed is when you put a seed in the ground and it looks broken and it looks destroyed, that is the environment that growth happens. And in front of this entire crowd, in front of the whole world, I said, what could we give them? And I looked up, what is the median price of a house in Tulsa, Oklahoma? And $200,000 was the number that came up. So today, on behalf of Transformation Church, God, and Transformation Nation, each one of you is getting a check for $200,000. I dare you to give God praise. It's reparation season, and the church, change starts in the church. Can we give? God bless you. God bless you. Who is this to you? This is your grandmother? So this is your grandmother? So what was taken from her was taken from you. Yeah, this ain't on the schedule, but she's gonna get $200,000, but she's gonna get $100,000 as well. It's reparation season. Everything that the enemy stole, he's gotta give it back. Change starts in the church. Change starts in the church. I hope this generosity is contagious. Because what was stolen from them and what has been stolen from you, you don't have to sit in that devastation. God's saying, don't put a period where he put a comma. The story is still being written. And in the 100th year of this crazy massacre, on behalf of Transformation Church, our generosity in 10 minutes was $1 million. This is a season of restoration. Reparation. God says, I'm about to build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail. God that brings restoration from devastation is to read Isaiah 61 over you. He said, receive the restoration that only comes from God. The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim this good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness for the prisoners, to proclaim that the year of the Lord's favor and the day of vengeance of our God is here to comfort all who mourn and provide all those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, a garment of praise instead of the spirit of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the display of his splendor. They will rebuild. They will rebuild the ancient ruins and restore the places long devastated. That they have devastated for generations. Strangers will shepherd your flocks. Foreigners will work your fields and vineyards, and you will be called priests of the Lord. You will be named ministers of God. You will feed on the wealth of nations, and in their riches you will boast. Somebody needs to receive this right now. Instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion. Lift your hands and get ready for this. Instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion. Instead of disgrace, you will receive and rejoice in your inheritance. And so you will inherit a double portion in your land. An everlasting joy will be yours. I said an everlasting joy will be yours. For I, the Lord, love justice. I hate robbery and wrongdoing. And my faithfulness, I will reward my people. God will reward his people and make an everlasting covenant with them. Their descendants, somebody lift your hands because this is for you, will be known among the nations and their offspring among the people. All who see us will acknowledge that they are the people of the Lord and they are blessed.
Reparation is not a political word. Reparation is not a word that your left-wing friends or your right-wing friends have coined, Todd said. Let me give you the definition of reparations. The action of repairing something that was devastated. Reparations mean that somebody is going to take up the mantle and actually put into action the process of repairing something that was destroyed. He then quoted Joel 2:25, which says, "And I will restore to you the years that the locust hath eaten, the cankerworm, and the caterpillar, and the palmerworm, my great army which I sent among you." He stressed